The games are coming thick and fast for Liverpool, and next up for us is Toulouse in the Europa League. In today's video, we will discuss the latest surrounding the opponent, whilst also going over all the latest Liverpool news from the last 24 hours, and why the club could be set to make a massive U-turn after a 4-player reveal. There is so much to cover in today's video. And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys, I hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Jurgen Klopp is delighted with the depth of quality in his side, claiming that his 4 substitutes during the Merseyside derby should be starters. The Reds made it a winning return to the Premier League following the international break with a 2-0 victory over neighbours Everton, courtesy of a late brace from Mohamed Salah. Klopp made 4 changes to the side that drew away to Brighton in our last outing earlier this month, with Kostas Tsimikas' introduction to the lineup enforced by Andy Robertson's dislocated shoulder. The manager expressed his pleasure at being able to bring on players who can make a difference in matches, and said that the players who were introduced in the second half of the derby should start for the Reds. He said, "The closer the boys are to be a starter, the more likely it is you'll have an impact. These boys that came on are all starters, they should start but they couldn't always. That's why we can really make a difference with the boys that are coming on. So far, that is a real strength of ours. It has to be because sometimes games go the way they go, sometimes in one direction, sometimes in another, and you always need to have an impact, and today again, really good." Darwin Núñez, Harvey Elliott and Joel Matip all come on at various points throughout the second period, as Liverpool went in search of a breakthrough against the Blues, while Joe Gomez replaced Luis Diaz shortly after Salah's opener. Robertson added his name to the list of absentees and isn't expected to return until 2024, following confirmation from the boss prior to the game that he will require surgery. The Reds remain within striking distance of top spot after 9 games despite various injuries and suspensions, and the manager has full confidence that there is sufficient talent within the squad to navigate the coming weeks regardless of absences. A worrying lack of minutes for 4 loanees could see Liverpool take action in January and make a huge U-turn, though Fabio Carvalho finds himself in a tough situation at RB Leipzig. Though the Reds have 17 players currently out on loan, few are in a place as regular starters for their clubs, with 2 out with long-term injuries. But while Calvin Ramsey and Adam Lewis have explanations for their absences, the same cannot be said for Carvalho, James Balgasi, Billy Comito and James Norris. The weekend's fixture saw all 4 left out by their clubs again, with Carvalho the only one to make the matchday squad at all. He was an unused substitute as RB Leipzig won 3-1 away to Darmstadt in the Bundesliga, having so far just clocked 195 of a possible 1,080 minutes across all competitions. Elsewhere, Balgasi was omitted from the squad as Wigan beat Exeter 2-0 in League One, the midfielder having been overlooked for 6 of the last 7 games. Comito was absent again for the USL Dunkery's 3-1 loss to Paris FC in Ligue 2, with the centre-back missing 4 of the last 5 games and an unused since a red card on his debut. And Norris, who was controversially substituted minutes before half-time by former Tranmere manager Ian Dowes, has seen a peripheral role continue under interim coach Nigel Atkins. The young left-back was left out of a 2-1 loss to Doncaster on Saturday, meaning he has not featured in the last 6 League 2 fixtures and failed to make the squad in 5 of those. It stands to reason that if this continues, Liverpool will look to terminate the deals of Balgasi, Comito and Norris in January. Carvalho would likely be a contender for that early return too, though with Leipzig expected to have paid a sizable loan fee to secure a season-long deal, it may prove impossible or at least very difficult to negotiate. There has been considerably more game time for the likes of Sepp Vandenberg, Tyler Morton and Harvey Davies, who have all played 90 minutes over the weekend. Jacob Orzinski too has recently claimed the number 1 spot at Den Bosch in the Dutch second tier, playing the full 90 in a 2-1 loss to VVV Venlo on Friday. Another goalkeeper, Luke Huiston, kept a clean sheet at Salty Bridge. Celtic beat Trafford 1-0, while Lucas Stevenson came off of the bench in Barrow's 0-0 draw with AFC Wimbledon. Nat Phillips was also unused as Celtic won 3-1 at Hearts on Sunday, though the centre-back was likely rested for the Champions League trip to the Atletico Madrid 3 days later. Barry Lutus's under-21s were in action for the second time this season in the Premier League International Cup, facing Benfica in Group C, and Jurgen Klopp will have been watching this one from behind the sofa as tackles flew in on his first team prospects. Meanwhile, Klopp's assistant, Pem Linders, was spectating in person, standing on the sidelines with Liverpool's elite development coach, Vitor Moas. After a 2-1 defeat to Monaco in their Group C opener, Liverpool could ill afford to lose this one. With no UEFA Youth League to compete in this season, this competition has taken on more significance, hence the Reds fielding his stronger side. Gerald Quansah started as centre-back with James McConnell in holding midfield. They were both on the bench for the Merseyside derby at Anfield on Saturday, as was Callum Scanlon, who played 45 minutes in the Kirkby Sunshine. Katie Gordon made the bench for this one, having played just 16 minutes in the last 19 months. The young right winger has reportedly been hampered by injuries, scoring for the first team in early 2022, but will hope to have put a recent ankle problem behind him. There was no time to ease into the opening game of the Sunday afternoon, with a couple of biting early tackles from Benfica setting the tone. Liverpool certainly had the best of the possession before the break, but the visitors arguably created the better chances. After 27 minutes, Benfica had a good penalty claim turned down, but it was as soon as forgotten when, from at least 30 yards out, Felipe Cruz curled a stunning effort beyond Vitalis Jaros that nestled beautifully into the net. A blow for Liverpool, but there was no denying the excellence of the finish. That lead didn't last long though, as McConnell nodded one on from Mateusz Mokioski, outswinging corner just 5 minutes later. The tension came to a climax shortly before half-time, waiting for a throw-in to be taken. Pedro Santos went down with a loud yelp while it stood in front of Quansah. Nobody but Gilson Tavares reacted. The tall midfielder proceeded to shove Quansah and was booked for laughing loudly after referee deemed the Liverpool defender to have accidentally stood on Santos' foot. Toulouse can now turn their attention to a sacred experience and visiting Anfield following their latest Ligue 1 clash on Sunday afternoon. The Reds will embark on their third of their 6 Europa League Group E fixtures on Thursday night at Anfield when the French side will visit for the first time since 2007. Toulouse finished 13th in Ligue 1 last season, but were able to qualify for Europe thanks to their victory in last season's Coupe de France. Manager Carles Martinez Novel's side currently sit 10th in the table, having won 2 and lost 2 of their opening 9 games so far in the 2023-2024 campaign, with 5 draws coming in the last 8 league matches. The trip to Anfield represents a significant occasion for the club, who haven't featured in European competition since 2009, but Novell refused to let his players' minds wander to Liverpool until domestic business had been taken care of. The draw leaves Toulouse right in the middle of Ligue 1, and it means they have won just one of the last 6 fixtures in the league, having opened the campaign with a win away to Nantes. Toulouse currently sits second in Group E of the Europa League, having drawn away at Union Saint-Gilles and beaten Lask at home, but face the tough prospect of a double-header with Liverpool across the coming weeks. Liverpool fans, what do you make of the lack of game time for our loanees, and do you think we should make the huge U-turn? Yes or no? Let me know down there in the comment section below. That brings us into today's video. As always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.